Good. 10 o'clock. Okay. Make sure we got our live feed. Okay. All right, everybody. It's sometimes the hardest thing, just get on the yoga mat. So, and then once you're here, you just sit back, relax, enjoy the seat that you found. And we're gonna start with some Om and Shanti. Always a great way just to kind of bring in some calm, some peace, slow the thinking mind down, begin to open the heart up. If you just want to listen, that's fine. Everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions in my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Together. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Just sit here for a moment, keep the eyes closed. Feel the breath in the body. Breathe in and breathe out. Oh my goodness. So it's really amazing to have this physical body. It's amazing to be available for teachings in all of their forms of yoga, of life, of Ahimsa, nonviolence. You know, this prayer that we sang this morning it runs very deep. It's been something that I've heard from the very first day I went to a Jivamukti class back in the late 90s. This call to Ahimsa, this call to practicing nonviolence. You know, it's a beautiful prayer just on its surface. You sing it, it feels good, you're bringing awareness to others. But it's really a call to action. You know, it's a verb, it's something that we need to literally bring into every aspect of our lives. And Patanjali was very wise. He knew that we, as a species, were inherently violent. You know, that we, as a country, the United States has been at war forever. Pretty much since we became the United States, have been a hand in a war somewhere, as we are today. So if we can begin to own that part of ourselves, you know, as a kind of principle to operate from, that I have harming inside of me. I do it in my words, I do it in my thoughts, I do it in the actions that I take, small and big. If I can begin to own that, accept that, then the tool of Ahimsa, the action of non-violence or non-harming, is something I have at my disposal. You know, start with myself, and then I can expand it to others. And I always say the practice can be as powerful as you want it to be. It could be just mere physical exercise where you're increasing your health, your vitality, your ability to stretch, increase muscle mass. But as I understand it, and it was taught to me, that's just the beginning. That's just improving your vehicle, your means of transportation, so that you can then be more effective out there in the world. And you remember that Ahimsa is coming from the yamas of Ashtanga Yoga, from Patanjali. And he's not saying first limb, asana. No, he's not saying that. He's saying first limb, yama. First limb, clean up how you act out there in the world, how you are treating others in the world. And the very first thing he suggests is nonviolence. You know, the 8 limbs, they work hand in hand. You need one to help the other one, right? But if you don't get this foundational first prescription, you know, you might get better biceps, but for what aim? A lot going on right now. I feel really sensitive. I feel really emotional. I feel a little confused, maybe not sure what I should be doing. But I think the thing to remember for me is that it's important to acknowledge that I'm kind of a little bit lost. I am a little bit off balance, and that's okay. You know, there's room for that. If we can establish our connection in yoga, then we can establish a little bit of movement out there, like we're not sure where to be. I was really thinking a lot. It's so interesting how the focus is the month kind of, you know, it's like you can use the one from last month that really is helping us in this month, where David gave us a beautiful teaching about the yellow crane. Now we all perceive things differently from the side that we take. And that it's important in the practice of yoga, as we know from Vastu, Samye, Chitta, Veda, Teyor, Vivaktaha, Pentaha, right? Everything is perceived differently from one's own perspective, from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. That we begin to just get quiet and begin to see the other side. That's what Sharon was talking a lot about last month. She was saying, you can't be a spiritual activist if you can't see the other person's part in this. You can't really understand where they're coming from with this. And if you can then see where they're coming from, then you could also see them as being able to change, maybe seeing this in a different way. So, just a lot to take in right now. I think really just trying to be in the moment as much as we can. Let the emotions come up. I felt like a little depressed yesterday. Let the depression come in a little bit, This is a heavy, heavy history that we are confronting right now. And it's something that's going to take some time to begin to move and restructure and rethink and reimagine. There's a lot that we can do to educate ourselves about this moment. There's a lot of people that we can look to that have been established in this for a lifetime, who know how to confront racism. And I think it's important too to keep the focus on the specific topic right now and not dilute it with anything else. Black Lives Matter. Every single one. When we open our eyes to what's going on, we choose not to look away, we can't unsee these things. So, again, I'm committed to being part of this conversation. I'm going to explore ways that I can go beyond social media to be a part of it. I think that's a good starting place, but it's just the beginning. And we have our yoga practices here to guide us through. So let's sing Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu and try to bring in a little bit more of the verb that it's asking us to be, the action that it's asking us to take part in. Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions in my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. One of my favorite programs, newsworthy, is R.E. Melbourne, The Beat. And he's very skilled at bringing in the voice of the Black community. He has a lot of African-American guests, amazing professors, doctors, people who are in hip-hop and the whole kind of arts industry. And he has led me to follow a lot of important leaders of this time. And that's where I'm beginning to kind of like be in this conversation a little bit more, to follow some voices that have been in the fight forever in this movement. And I want to be a student. I want to learn. So check out who I'm following on Facebook. You can follow along too. All right, let's come to our yoga practice. Let's start in child's pose today. So just come down, bring your forehead to the ground, bring your seat to your heels. If you have any knee issues, you can place a blanket underneath your knees. And just take this kind of neutral pose of surrender, of letting go. Mother Earth is beneath your forehead. It's a powerful connection when you can take your third eye center
to the earth, and just acknowledge that powerful connection that Mother Earth is always teaching us to slow down, to take better care of ourselves, to kind of refine this tool, the physical body, so that we can be more effective in our action in the world. Because when we feel physically whole, we feel physically healthy, we feel physically complete, it's easy then to move on to mental activity, to vocal activity. And then you're going to come to a downward facing dog. Just take a moment here, spread the fingers out, feet hip distance apart, heels reaching towards the back of the mat. If you want to move the body around a little bit here, this is a good place to do it. And let's walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Come to a standing forward bend, Paschimottanasana. And take it any way you'd like. You'd separate the feet hip distance apart, take hold of big toes, place hands flat on the floor, grab hold of opposite elbow. But take the time to get into a posture where you are steady, where you are comfortable, where you can bring your attention to one place. You know, what I've witnessed over the years is that whenever Black Lives Matter comes into conversation, take a soft bend in your knees, release whatever you're holding on, gently roll up. People try to bring in all these other causes, and it's things that always kind of driven me away a little bit. Like, why are you trying to bring everything else in? Just focus on the one subject. And now I completely embrace that. Like, that's what we're talking about right now. Let's talk about that. Don't worry about the other things. We'll get to those. Right now, you know, this is important. This is an important conversation. We can talk about things at another time, but right now we can focus just for a moment. You know, people are really being brought out every day right now, which is really beautiful to witness. All right, let's come stand at the front of the mat, hands to prayer. Bring your gaze to your fingertips or close your eyes. One of the beautiful things about the yoga practice is it helps us harness our incredible potential, our personal power. So just take a moment here and increase that power by offering your practice up to whoever comes to mind. I'm thinking of, I don't think I've ever dedicated my practice to Reverend Al Sharpton, but here it is, giving it to you, my friend. You remind me of Sharon in the way that you are steady. You are always full of energy, full of love, full of information, full of education. You never waver. You always bring attention to this cause. So, offer them up to you. Love. Beginning your Ujjayi breathing, audible breath. Begin to match the length of your inhale to the exhale. On your exhale, you're going to release your arms down. Sun Salutation A, inhale, lift the prayer overhead. Exhale, folding forward, place your hands flat on the floor. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe here, inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or jump between your hands, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, come all the way up, lift the prayer overhead. Exhale, release your arms down. Again, inhale, lift the prayer overhead. Exhale, folding forward, place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe here. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or jump between your hands, come to a flat back and look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, come all the way up, lift the prayer overhead. Exhale, release your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Bring your gaze to your fingertips or close your eyes. Now, as Hatha yogis, we know that this body is the vehicle to the spiritual experience, that we can experience a deep sense of self, which is unafraid, it's able to handle emotion, it's able to handle confusion. As we slow the breathing down in the body, this affects the mind. The mind slows down as well. On your exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply now for Sun Salutation B. Lift the prayer up, Utkatasana. Exhale, diving forward, place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lightly step the right foot forward, turn the left heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, first warrior pose. Exhale, place your hands down. Step back, slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, warrior 1. Exhale, place your hands down, step back, slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe here. If at any point you want to take child's pose, take child's pose. You don't always have to be 100% physically feeling great to go to a yoga class. Take child's pose for half the class. Just show up, be part of it if you can. A few more breaths here. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or jump between your hands. Come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, bend your knees deeply. With the prayer up, awkward pose. Exhale, release your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Another beautiful tool in yoga is mantra. You know, whenever you do find yourself in a conversation where you feel uncomfortable, you feel off balance, just repeat something simple in the mind. I always think of the starter mantra for meditation in Jivamukti, let go. You know, and then you just let go. Whatever is holding you in one place or making you feel uncomfortable or emotional,
You just let it go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Release the arms down. Inhale, bend the knees deeply. Lift the prayer up, Utkatasana. Exhale, diving forward. Place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back. Look up. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, warrior one. Exhale, place your hands down, step back. Slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, warrior one. Exhale, place your hands down, step back. Slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, right foot forward. Left heel down, lift the prayer overhead, warrior one. This time on the exhale, open the arms wide, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Make sure your feet are properly spaced apart. You're gonna reach forward and down for triangle pose. Try to approach the pose with strong legs and navel. And then just gonna lightly place the right hand down where it lands on your block, on the floor, on your shin. And then reach up through the left side. Uncomplicate yourself as much as you can. Create a place of stability, one where you feel supported by yourself. And then use your gaze place, continue with your audible breath. After 5 breaths, inhale, come up. On the exhale, you're going to bend your right knee. Second warrior pose. Maybe separate your feet a little bit further apart here. Try to bring the knee over the ankle, front thigh close to parallel. Try to relax shoulders down, and then reach in both directions. Complete the pose, your gaze over the middle finger, or close your eyes. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, you're going to drop the left arm down the back of the left leg. Bend the front knee a little bit more. Keep warrior two legs. Bring the top arm up and over the ear. Hold and breathe here. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten your right leg. And you're going to exhale, rebend the right knee. You're going to start with your right elbow on your right knee. Extend the left arm up and over the ear. Reach on the diagonal. If you want to bring your right hand to the floor, that's your option. Come to your own variation. But then bring your emphasis to the stretch through the left side. Inhale, draws the spine long. Exhale, open the twist for one. Look for your steady gaze place. From here, you're going to inhale, place your hands down. You can step back to downward facing dog. Option to stay here or go through the vinyasa one time on your own, like breath and movement. And then stay here. Shake the head out, flubber the lips. In meditation yesterday, I realized what I was feeling as depression was just sadness. Just felt a lot of sadness about what's currently going on. And if there's anything I learned from yoga, you can have simultaneous emotions going on at the same time. And that it's okay to have sadness. It's okay to make some room for sadness. As long as we establish connection to that source, the soul, we can handle just about anything. Try the other side. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, warrior one. On the exhale, open the arms wide, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left leg, adjust the foot in as you need to. Again, think of the strength in the legs and the navel. Reach forward and just bend. Lightly place the left hand where it lands. Extend the right arm up. Again, take your time, slow down, go through the proper channels to find a place of steadiness, to find a place of joy. Hold and breathe here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend your left knee, second warrior pose. Again, establish the connection through the feet. Separate them further if you need to. Try to find warrior two in the legs. And then reach in both directions energetically. Relax the shoulders. Complete the pose with your gaze over the middle finger or close the eyes. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, drop the right arm down the back of the right leg, left arm up for reverse warrior. Again, don't be in a rush. Find a place where you can improve the mind by slowing it down. Breathing in and breathing out. Avoid looking all over the place. Find one point for your focus. Could be hand above or something not moving. Inhale, come up. Place your hands down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Option to stay here or go through the vinyasa on your own, like breath and movement. As I was reading some of the posts of my friends out there in the front of the movement, one of them said that his partner, Kevin said his partner made a sign for him for the march that said, ally is a verb. I just love that, right? It's an action word. It's not just something that you go, hey, this is my title. It's like, no, it means action. So if you are an ally, I saw the signs a lot saying, white silence equals, you know, that you are not helping at all. So don't be silent, speak up, speak out. Talk to somebody, educate somebody right now. And then bend your knees, look forward, step or jump between your hands. Come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, lift the prayer up. And then straighten your legs, hands to prayer. You know, I know I'm not going to do this perfectly out the gate. I know I'm not going to be the best spokesperson for this cause, but just know I'm trying my best. I'm trying to find my way into this conversation as best as I know how to. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to do it imperfectly. I just hope people understand where I'm coming from, that I'm making an effort trying to practice Ahimsa in this way. And exhale, release your arms down. On your next inhale, you're going to step or jump wide to your right. You're going to bring your feet parallel. You're going to set a first straddle forward bend. So I know that people who are super flexible, it's easy to bring your head to the floor. For others, it's more difficult. If it's easier for you, bring your feet a little bit closer together. If it's difficult for you, try to separate your feet a little bit further apart. Hands on your hips, inhale, look up. Exhale, lead with the heart, fold forward. You're going to bring your hands on the floor, preferably fingertips in line with toes. If it's difficult to get your hands to the floor, you could use a block or two blocks. Inhale, look up a second time. Exhale, begin to draw the top of the head towards the floor. Hold and breathe here.
On your next inhale, you're going to come up. You're going to bring your hands forward on the mat. You're going to step or jump your feet together behind the hands. Again, you might want to take 2 blocks here. We're going to do some leg lifts out to the side. So bring the weight equally into your hands or fingertips. I would benefit from 2 blocks here. So do that. Steady here. Okay, inhale. You're going to lift the right flex foot out to the side. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. If it's difficult, do it anyways. For 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. There's room for difficulty right now. For 5. Inhale. Bring the right foot down. Reestablish your connection through your hands. And right foot. Inhale. Left flex foot comes up. Even if it's difficult, do it anyways. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, release the left foot down. And then from here, let's just gently roll up to a standing position.
Now step or jump your feet together at the front of the mat. Hands to prayer, pause in action. And then remember who you dedicated your practice to. Offer up your love, offer up your blessings. On your exhale, release your arms down. From here, we're going to take hidden prayer pose. You might want to step into the middle of your mat. So hidden prayer, you bring the hands to prayer behind the back. You try to move the prayer up in between the shoulder blades. If that's difficult, just grab hold of either elbow. On an inhale, you're going to step back with your right foot. You're going to look up, keep the weight in that back leg. As you exhale, begin to fold forward. Keep the heart open, don't round the back. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. Inhale, bend your front knee, and then lift the back foot off the floor for the third warrior pose. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. Inhale, come upright, step the feet together, release your hands, give the hands a little shake out. And just pausing here. Take a breath, breathing in and breathing out. I want you to take it a little bit more deeply. I want you to bring your hands to prayer again, or grab hold of either elbow, and I want you to consider, what is your hidden prayer? What do you go to when you need to be that verb? Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu could be perfect for you. Inhale, left foot steps back. All right, take the focus off the small self. Bring the focus to the higher self. How can I, through my words, thoughts, and deeds, take action here in a positive, non-violent way? Inhale, look up. Exhale, lead with the heart, fold forward. Don't round the back. Keep the chest open. Come as far as you can. Breathing here. On your next inhale, bend the front knee. You're going to lift the back foot off the floor, third warrior pose. Try to reach out in all directions. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come up. Feet together, release the hands, give the arms, shoulders, everything a little shake out. And then come stand for the mat, hands to prayer. Close the eyes. And put some attention on just slowing down, pausing in action. Sometimes to take action, we first need to sit and be quiet and listen. Listen to those around you with the experience that can help educate you. The ones that have been at the front of this movement forever. Someone like Reverend Al Sharpton. He has a lot of love and experience to offer me, and I am listening. We can reach back into Obama's spiritual toolkit and be the change that we want to see. That's a good thing to remember right now. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, lift the prayer up, awkward pose. Exhale, diving forward, place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Keeping your left heel turned up, step your right foot forward between your hands into lunge. You're going to bring your left knee to the floor. You're going to bring both hands onto your right knee. We'll come into standing spinal twist from a supportive variation today. Inhale the left arm up. As you exhale, twist to the right. See if you can push the thigh in so you can better accommodate your bind, elbow to knee, hands to prayer. If you want to come into a full bind, drop the right arm behind, thread the left arm underneath, see if you can get hold of something underneath you. If you want to tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the floor, and then take your standing spinal twist. Inhale, exhale, 1. Try to be steady, don't shake. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. Inhale, place your hands down. Step back to downward facing dog and we'll switch sides. Keep your right heel turned up. Step your left foot forward into lunge. Release the right knee down. Move both hands onto your left knee. And we'll come into a supportive variation. From here, standing spinal twist. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale as you twist to the left now. Push the thigh in. See if you can better accommodate the binds here, elbow to knee. If you want to come into the full bind, this is a good place to practice. And then tuck the back toes under. If you like, straighten the back leg, take your standing spinal twist. Inhale, place your hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. Option to stay here, come into child's pose, or go through the vinyasa one time on your own. Just find a neutral pose, place to reconnect, place to slow down, place to be quiet for a moment. And then let's all meet in downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Shake the head out, flip the lips. We're going to come to child's pose again. We're going to set up for our forearm stand preparation. Peacock feather. You know, as a new student, this pose would always, I misunderstood it because it sounded so light. It sounded so easy, right? A peacock feather. Of course I could do that. But then I realized it took a lot of work. It took a lot of showing up for the practice and building on the experience. So if you're new to the practice and it's a difficult pose, don't worry about that. So what we want to do here, I'm getting a block ready. I'm going to take hold of either elbow. This way I can bring my hands, wrists, and forearms parallel. If I'm using the block, I'm keeping my hands flat on the floor, but I'm just guiding them to stay about a block distance apart, which turns to be about shoulder distance apart. And this way my hands will not cave in on each other. From here, I'm going to tuck the toes under. I'm going to straighten my legs.
And you could just practice here. Again, don't let the wrists pop up. Keep pressing hands down firmly. And then this could be enough for you if that is difficult. If you'd like to take it a step further, maybe you don't need the block, but keep hands, wrists, and forearms parallel. You're going to lift the right leg up. You could practice here, keeping the weight equally in the forearms. If you want to bend a knee, practice hopping some weight equally into the arms. That could be your practice. If you have practice of coming all the way up, come all the way up. 5 breaths. After 5 breaths, come down and rest in child's pose. Let go of what you think you know. Try to empty the mind. Place yourself in a receptive mode. Get beyond better biceps. We'll try it a second time. Again, take hold of either elbow, measure hands, wrists, and forearms parallel. If the block was helpful, you can continue to use it. If you found it more complicated, then remove the block. And then we're going to tuck toes under, straighten the legs, and then option to stay here, or lift the opposite leg up. Stay there, practice hopping some weight equally into the arms. If you have a practice of coming all the way up, come all the way up. If you'd like a variation here, we're going to take scorpion variation. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to bring the chest parallel to the floor. Take a few breaths here. If you're in scorpion, come back through. Peacock feather. And then everyone meet in child's pose. Again, let go of whatever you found. And come sit up. From here, let's just sit to the side of the legs and swing the legs forward. I'm going to set up for forward seated bend. Paschimottanasana. Going to come onto the front of your sit bones. Make sure whatever's touching the floor is pressing down. This is the foundation of this pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Whatever you can get hold of. Shins, that could be enough. Ankles, if you can reach a little bit further. Maybe feet are available. Maybe opposite wrist. Inhale, look up a second time. Exhale, folding forward. Let go of the past. Inhale, come up. From here, let's bring the knees into the chest. You're going to release your knees out to the side. Bring the feet in close for bound cobbler's pose. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, folding forward. One of the things I've been hearing over and over again in the news is that people are just so empowered by the makeup of the crowds at all these rallies and protests. Lots of young people, lots of the past 2 generations, millennials and the Z generation. And it's a multi-racial mix, multi-age mix. It's like everybody is in the conversation. And the other thing I hear a lot is people are saying, look at these people who are willing to put their bodies on the line, right? Meaning they're physically showing up, even with the threat of some violence from the police or whoever's there to do whatever they're doing. I know that they are holy beings as well, so I don't want to diminish them. But I want to keep the focus on the people that are keeping the conversation going. I mean, it totally blows me away what is this, 12th day now? 12th night? It's probably going to be more people out there. It's amazing. It's really a beautiful conversation to be in. On your next inhale, come up. From here, we're going to take Tara Asana Star Pose. Just move the feet forward, create a diamond shape in the legs. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, folding forward. And breathing here. I think it's important right now too, when we see some people finally coming forward and acknowledging what's been going on. Some people will say, oh, well, it's too late for them. And I would argue that. I would say, I don't think it's ever too late for anyone, because we need to have this conversation. Better late than never, right? At least the people that are following them and listening to them might be able to bend a little bit now. All right, from here, we are going to come into our tabletop. If you want to take straight legs, that's an option. You're going to bring your hands on the floor behind you. On inhale, lift the hips up. Keep the gaze forward or drop the gaze behind. Down. From here, you're going to bend the knees, cross the ankles, hands on either side of your hips. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step walk or jump back. Slowly lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take a breath here, shake the head out. Flipper the lips. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, chin to the floor, seat is high. Inhale, push through to a low cobra. And then through bent knees, push your seat to your heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. This time you're going to exhale, lower all the way down through chaturanga. Bring your forehead to the floor. We're going to set up for Shalabhasana. Inhale, lift the shoulders up off the floor about 10 inches, open the chest. Exhale a breath here. Inhale, lift your head and legs off the floor now. Inhale. After 5 breaths, come down. Turn your face to one side. Relax and let go. Pause in action. Breathe the body. Make connection to Mother Earth. There's a new sign that I've noticed. Old women carrying at these marches. And it says, when George Floyd called out to his mama, he was calling out to all the mothers, which I found really beautiful. On the inhale, lift your head, chest, knees off the floor, come up. Exhale, release down, turn your face to the opposite side. I found out from watching the service the other day with Reverend Al Sharpton that his mama was already passed on. She wasn't here. And for him to be calling out to her in that moment, very beautiful, you know? Even though she wasn't here anymore, he still is reaching to her for support. Forehead down, second time. Dhanurasana bow pose. Take hold of the outside or inside of the ankles. On an inhale, lift up. And release down. Turn your face to the opposite side. I could really relate to that as well because my mother passed away at the beginning of February. And what a beautiful conversation I've been having with her since, you know? It's been really amazing. So I can understand why he reached out to his mama. You know, even through death, that connection is not lost. And it's a sweet place, right? Sweet place too. A vulnerable place. When you're ready, turn over onto your back. We're going to set up for a half wheel pose. So bend your knees, draw your heels close and towards your seat. Feet are hip distance apart and parallel. On an inhale, you're going to lift your lower, middle, upper back off the floor. And then here you could interlace your hands underneath. You draw the arms long. If you want to take a supportive half wheel, you could find a block here for yourself. Hold and breathe. I posted this funny cartoon, Come Down When You're Ready, from the New Yorker, and it shows this kind of like upward hill or, you know, upward mountain climb, and there's a sign that says, you know, white America acknowledging racism, and it shows this white person, hands on their knees, huffing and puffing, exhausted. And then just up a little bit up the trail is a person of color with a backpack on, standing upright, full of energy, going, we've only just begun. There's a sign up ahead that says, we've only just begun. This is only the start. And he's kind of waving the white person, come on, we're just beginning our hike. You know, like, let's get going here. And it's just so informative, that picture, right? Like, don't get tired at the beginning. Man, this is the beginning of a race, right? This is only the first inning of how many innings we're going to go. So get healthy, get strong, get your asana practice down. Be ready for what's coming. Get ready for it physically, mentally, and spiritually. All right, first full wheel, half on your own. Inhale, come up, 5 breaths. There's a lot of anger out there right now. How can I bring my non-violent self to that conversation, not add to the anger or to the violence? It's really what the whole peaceful protest is about. Bringing our bodies, showing up, being a witness to, not shying away, but not being violent either, right? Second wheel, hands alongside the ears, underneath the shoulders, half wheel, come into on your own. Come to the top of the head or come all the way up, 5 breaths. Come down. To prayer and right between the eyebrows. Again, just offer up your practice. Could be the same person you thought at the beginning of class, could be somebody else. I want to offer this final
wheel up to all the young people who are out there. You know, this is no coincidence that these two generations coming up, Generation Z and the millennials, maybe this is exactly what we needed. Or I should say, this is exactly what we needed to make this change. So I offer it up to all the young people. Half wheel on your own. Full wheel, hands alongside the ears, underneath the shoulders, pushing into your hands and feet. Come up. 5 to 8 breaths on your own. Down, try your knees into your chest, just rock a little bit. Side to side on the lower spine. Be the change. Be the change that you want to see. They had a beautiful local demonstration yesterday, 24th in Mission, near my house, just a couple blocks from where I live in the Mission. I was at work, but my wife and my daughter and some other friends and allies showed up to be a witness to that, honoring of a local man that was 22 and was shot at a protest in Vallejo. So, an unarmed man who was on his knees, his hands behind his head, and they shot him. So I got some big problems out there. Even in our protests, we're seeing even more of this police violence. So we just have to keep showing up non-violently. All right, let's come to a seated position. Rock up when you're ready. Let's set up for a seated spinal twist. Bend your right knee. Right foot to the outside of the left knee. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, twist open to the right side. Inhale, draw as the spine long. Open the twist for 1. Inhale, come center. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, twist to the left. Take a twist. Come center again. From here, we're going to set up for our shoulder stand. If you want to bring your seat close to a wall and bring your legs up the wall, that's an option. If you want to bring your seat close to the sofa and bring your legs up the side of the sofa, that's a nice option. If you use padding, set up padding. And you're going to come through Halasana. Bring your feet overhead. You're going to bring your hands firmly on your back and then lift the legs up. Try to establish flat hands on your back. Keep your gaze to your feet or to something not moving. Keep a little space around the throat. Bring some awareness to Vishuddha chakra, the place where we speak from, the place where we listen from. Hear what the conversation is about. Put all of your ideas aside and just listen. This is a time that's asking us for maturity, right? Asking us to listen a little bit more deeply, to put aside our own ideas, our own needs. Just be a part of that conversation in the listening mode.
On the exhale, lower the feet overhead, Halasana. If your feet don't reach the floor, you can just keep your hands on your back and knees towards your forehead. If your feet do reach the floor, interlace your hands. Draw your arms long as you push the heels in one direction. Reach the arms out in the other direction. You can stay here, bend knees alongside the ears, Karnapidasana. And then straighten your legs. You're going to release your hands, and then you're going to gently roll down onto your back. Try to keep your head on the floor, arms pressing down. And then place yourself on the mat with enough room to set up for fish pose, Matsyasana. Bring the feet close together, legs together, arms close alongside the body. On the inhale, push into your hands and forearms. Lift the head off the floor. Open the throat. Bring the top of the head back to the floor. Head up, release down. We're going to set up for final relaxation here. Feet at least hip distance apart, arms alongside the body. And turn the palms up. And just place yourself in a way that's conducive to letting go. If your lower back's feeling at all sensitive, it's always good to have a blanket that you can use during practice as a prop. And you can just roll the blanket up, place it underneath your knees as I am doing here. This will take a little bit of pressure off the lower back. Feels really good, supported. Use any props which will help you to find a little bit more peace and quiet. Same idea. I like the little hand towel I've been using for 20 years as a prop. This could become your eye pillow, right? Bring a little bit of darkness. And then relax and let go. Allow whatever you found today to settle into your heart and into your mind. If it was just the Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu prayer, that is enough. And then taking that pause just to give gratitude for this life, this body, this mind, this soul that has the ability to be a witness, to be an ally, to be part of the conversation. Begin to lengthen your next inhale. Begin to move your fingers and toes, bringing consciousness back into your body.
You're gonna draw your knees into your chest. You can roll to one side. Pause here for a moment. And then when you're ready, come to a comfortable upright seated position. Just have a few minutes left, but I wanted to just give a little time for a short meditation. So when we meditate, it's this ability to sit and do nothing, and just watch and observe. Very powerful practice to just witness. So find a comfortable seat. Sit on a prop. I like to sit cross-legged. Tuck my foot into the back of my left leg. You can place your hands on your knees or in your lap. Think of this idea of being peace. Just establishing a connection where you can sit quietly, peacefully. This could be the beginning of your peaceful protesting. Right? Just find a place where you can let go, where you can be quiet in the mind, in the body. No chatter on social media, no chatter in the news, just you sitting quietly. Even at some of the protests, finding a place just to sit quietly. And then you just let go of control of the breath. The eyes closed. Begin to focus on a mantra. It could be a mantra that you've been given. I've been reciting a mantra for decades now. It's become very powerful. If you're new to mantra, just use let go. It's a perfectly good mantra to use. Inhaling, let, exhaling, go. And you notice your mind wandering off in thought towards sounds or actions of later in the day. Just gently bring it back to the witness place of inhaling, let, and exhaling, go. What happens is over time you refine the mantra and it just kicks in when you need it most. It's a tool of peace. It's a tool of nonviolence. I know that when I'm able to take this place of the witness, I begin to see the beauty before me. I get to see the incredible beauty in the actions that are all around me right now. I was blown away by what the mayor in DC did yesterday, painting Black Lives Matter on a 2-block span leading up to the park just right in front of the White House. And then she even changed the name of the street to Black Lives Matter Boulevard. Wow. Beautiful. It's a monument, she said. It's a tribute. Let's finish here with Om and Shanti. Bring our hands to prayer in front of our hearts. We give thanks to all of our teachers, especially the inner guiding teacher, the Sadguru. Bowing forward, Om Bolo, Sadguru, Bhagavan Ki, Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Inhaling to come up. Nice to see all of you. Hope you have a really conscious day. Homework, 20 minutes meditation. Make the time, do the practice. If you want to read the focus of the month, it's on the Jivamukti website, written by David Life about the yellow crane in the tower. If you have any questions for me, I'm always here. I would love to talk to you. Reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me on Instagram, reach out to me on the YouTube channel, where you can find lots of yoga classes. Until next time, namaste.